Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. A reading from the book Namacharya, Srila Haridasa Thakura, page 264. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the benediction. Anyone who has seen the festival of Srila Haridasa Thakura's passing away, anyone who has chanted and danced here, anyone who has offered sand on the body of Haridas Thakura, and anyone who has joined this festival to partake of the prasadam will achieve the favor of Krishna very soon. There is such wonderful power in seeing Haridasa Thakura. The translation: Being merciful upon me, Krishna gave me the association of Haridas Thakura. Being independent in his desires, he has now broken that association. When Haridas Thakura wanted to leave this material world, it was not within my power to detain him. Simply by his will, Haridas Thakura could give up his life and go away. Exactly like Bhishma, who previously died simply by his own desire, as we have heard from Shastra. Haridas Thakura was the crown jewel on the head of this world. Without him, the world is now uh, bereft of its valuable jewel. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then told everyone, say all glories to Haridas Thakura and chant the holy name of Hari. Saying this, he personally began to dance. Everyone began to chant all glories to Haridasa Thakura, who revealed the importance of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Taken from Chaitanya Charitamrita Anjalila 11.91 to 99. Haridas Thakura was not only the topmost devotee of the Lord, but also a great and learned scholar. It was his great fortune that he had passed away before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Haridas Thakura is mentioned here as the most learned scholar, Parama Vidwan. Actually, the most important science to know is the science of getting out of the clutches of the material existence. Anyone who knows the science, must be considered the greatest learned person. Anyone who knows the temporary situation of this material world and is an expert in achieving a permanent situation in the spiritual world, who knows that the supreme percent of Godhead is beyond the jurisdiction of our experimental knowledge, is understood to be the most learned scholar. Haridas Thakura knew this science perfectly. Therefore, he is described in the connection as Parama Vidwan. He personally preached the importance of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is approved by the revealed scriptures, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.24. Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhaktisten Nava Lakshana Kriteya Bhagavati Adhatan Manye Ditam Uttamam. There are 9 different processes of devotional service to Krishna. The most important being Smaranam Kirtanam, again mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.23, hearing and chanting. Haridas Thakura knew these signs very well, and he can therefore be called technically Sarva Shastraditi. Anyone who has learned the essence of all the Vedic scriptures is to be known as a first class educated person with full knowledge of all Shastra. Again taken from Chaitanya Charitamrita Anjalila 7.105. Haridasa Thakura, a Mohammedan by birth, was a very great devotee and also was always chanting Hare Krishna. That was his only fault. However, the Muslim Qazi called him forth and said, "You are Mohammedan, before born in a great Mohammedan family, yet you are chanting the Hindu Hare Krishna mantra. What is this?" Haridas Thakura mildly replied, "My dear sir, there are many Hindus who have become Mohammedans. Suppose I have become a Hindu. What is wrong with this?" The Qazi became very angry and ordered Haridas Thakura to be whipped in 22 bazars. This essential means that he was to be beaten to death. But because he was such a great devotee, he did not actually feel the pain. Although a devotee may sometimes have to suffer, he tolerates the suffering. At the same time, he is very kind to conditioned souls and tries to elevate them to Krishna consciousness. This is one of the primary features of devotee life. People are always putting a sadhu into difficulties, but he does not give up his job, which is to spread Krishna consciousness so that others may become happy. Where there is Krishna, there is no question of hell. Every place is Vaikuntha. Haridasa Thakura, for instance, did not enter the Jagannath temple at Puri, for he was born in a Mohammedan family. The Hindus opposed the Mohammedans entering the temple. Haridasa Thakura did not let this disturb him. However, he thought, oh, why should they go and disturb them? I shall chant here. Consequently, Lord Chaitanya, who is Lord Jagannatha himself, came daily to see Haridasa. This is the power of a pure devotee. He doesn't have to go to Jagannatha. Jagannatha comes to him. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to go to see Haridasa Thakura daily. When the Lord was going to battle in the to bathe in the sea, the Lord would enter Haridasa's cottage and ask Haridasa, "What are you doing?" And Haridasa would reply, "Please come in, my Lord." This then is the actual position of a devotee. Therefore, Krishna says that the worship of devotee is even more valuable than worship of himself. Srila Gaurakishora Dasa Babaji always tried to dissuade his disciple, Sri Bhakti Swami Thakura, from going to Calcutta, which he considered a bastion of Kali Yuga. Yet, though some might think Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakura disobeyed his Guru's order, he preached not only in Calcutta but in other capitals of Kali Yuga, such as London, Berlin, Bombay, Madras, and Delhi. He vehemently opposed the idea of constructing a temple in some quiet spot and leading a passive and uneventful life in the monastery. He represents perfectly the ideal of utilizing 100% of one's energy in God's service for the spiritual upliftment of humanity. A certain Gujarati friend offered to build him a temple in Villa Parle, a quiet and remote section of Bombay. He immediately refused. We had the greatest good fortune of seeing him act and preach in this way. And now it is our ill fate that after passing away of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, he, the exemplar of Padita Bhavana, we have returned to our lowly fallen ways. Is there a glimmer of hope for our deliverance? Srila Raghunatha Dasa Goswami's father and uncle, Hiranya Majumdara and Govardhana Majumdara, respectively, were big landowners of the ancient village of Chandaputra at Saptagrama. One of their employees, a Brahmana by birth named Gopala Chakravarti, locked the great, locked the great Vaishnava saint Sri Haridas Thakura in a debate on scriptures. The Brahmana was sheer empiricist and the Vaishnava saint was an absolute authority on the chanting of the holy name of the God Krishna. The Brahmana asked Srila Haridasa at what stage of realization liberation is attained. Citing many appropriate verses from the scriptures, Srila Haridasa explained that just as fear of nocturnal creatures like thieves, ghosts, and hobgoblins evaporates at dawn's first light, so all sins and offenses are erased and liberation is attained at the cleaning stage of chanting the holy name, called Namabhasa, which comes long before pure chanting. Only a liberated, highly evolved soul can utter the Lord's name purely and thus achieve the highest realization, untainted love of Godhead. This speculative philosopher, Brahmana, who was very much addicted to Sufism, could not fathom the saint's instructions and so ended up offending him. The foolish Brahmana tried to impose his own interpretations on the excellence of the holy name and concluded that Srila Haridas Thakura was a mere sentimentalist. He insolently rebuked the saint in public and tried to ridicule his explanations and characters. Argumentative impersonalists failed to grasp that without first properly understanding the science of the absolute truth, one cannot possibly develop firm devotee to the Supreme Lord. Hence, when a person is seen to be situated on the platform of pure devotee service, it is to be understood that his ignorance has been destroyed. We have discussed this point in some detail in the previous essay. The science of devotion. The empirical philosophers generally put forward the idea that human life is meant for an achieving perfect knowledge. To them, knowledge means the ability to discern reality from an illusion. By eradicating illusion and establishing that truth and reality are non-different from Brahman, they want to merge into existence of Brahman. This then is their definition of perfect knowledge, which they aspire to attain birth after birth. They declare that the highest stage of knowledge is reached when the knower, the knowledge, and the object of knowledge become one entity, which then finally merges into Brahman, attaining liberation. Lord Chaitanya has described this state of liberation as Bhava Mahadvagni Nirvapanam, extinguishing the flames of material existence. He cited many verses from the revealed scriptures, proving that a pure devotee easily attains the state of liberation by chanting the holy name of God.
Hare Krishna,
The
just stop, Prabhu.
Brahmana, sure,
Just
Prabhu.
stop. Yes.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Let me continue chanting, Prabhu.